Hey everyone, this is Jose Bonilla, and welcome to another episode of Weekly App News. Today's segment is question and answer. Now, we're a little bit restricted on time this week, so I actually just posted this morning, and we already got 4 questions from Chelsea Lasley, so I'm going to go ahead and go through those 4, and then a couple others from some of the other social media platforms. What areas of Denver are you seeing the greatest raises in value? It really depends on, I guess, what you're trying to target, but greatest raises in value, we're going to be looking at a lot of different pockets that are, basically like up and coming areas, right? So we're looking at there's a lot of places in like Denver Southwest, little pockets, a lot of the Westwood, Villa Park areas there. And what you're going to see is less growth, I guess, percentage-wise, in other areas that are a little bit more established. But that doesn't take away from, the demand that you're going to have in those certain areas, like a lot of Jefferson County, like Lakewood, Arvada, parts of Littleton, most of Littleton, those type of areas tend to kind of keep their value since they're already established. You don't see a lot of turnaround. Okay. So, second question, what room in your experience can make or break a home trying to sell? Kitchen. I mean, the kitchen is going to be your biggest determining factor. And obviously, a buyer's going to be looking at all sorts of different aspects as far as, bedroom size, open concept. You're going to be looking at bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. Master bedroom, for example. But kitchen is always the biggest determining factor, and that goes across the board from, houses in the 200s, 300s, 400s, 500s. Third question, what are the most common things potential buyers are looking for in prospective homes? It really depends on the situation itself. I can't really narrow it down. If you are someone who is looking to buy their first home, there's different aspects that are going to be important to you rather than, a small family looking to, either get their first home, or somebody who's upgrading for size, for example, or school district. It really depends on the stage of life you're in, and that's why you really want to hire a professional that's going to be able to, determine what your needs are and actually set them down so that person can go to work for you and actually get you what you need. All right, so fourth question, what is one quick and affordable thing any seller could do to increase the desired demand on their home? So I actually have a list of a few items that I actually provide to my sellers to basically some quick tips, and then I also go ahead and walk through the home with sellers before we actually list the home to see if there's any little subliminal things that could I guess be a little bit more attractive to buyers coming in and raise the demand. But in that aspect, I mean, some of the things, first and foremost, curb appeal is everything. If you show up to the home and it already doesn't look attractive, a lot of buyers will just skip through it, right? They won't even go inside the home. So curb appeal, number one, and the way you can, very low cost and effective ways is just, honestly, just painting even the front door. Otherwise just making sure your yard is clean. So that adds to the curb appeal. Other little things are just going to be, fresh paint, having it clean. So even if it's not the most updated home or, something like that, or the most spacious home, just make sure it's decluttered. Those are the ones from Facebook, from Chelsea. So I appreciate that. And then the 2 other ones that I received that I did want to touch on. First one is, why use an agent? So why use a real estate professional to actually purchase or sell a home? So biggest reason on the purchase side is this. When you are purchasing a home, regardless of what stage you're in, a lot of people, think that going directly to the listing agent is the best idea. So just remember this. The listing agent is working, in most cases, as a seller agent to that seller. So their best interest they have the seller's best interest in mind, not yours. Okay? Second reason, and probably the most important, is typically you don't have to pay anything to your buyer's agent. The service is actually free. So the commission is paid by the seller to the listing agent, who splits it with that buyer's agent. So you are getting free representation. Everything that you're putting towards are going to be going towards down payment, closing costs, inspections, and that sort of thing that we can always go over in a consultation. But my services when you are purchasing are completely free. So that's number one for buyers. Number 2 for sellers is that the type of exposure that a listing agent can get you is huge. I mean, just having it on the multiple listing service is a huge thing. Obviously, any buyer who's working with an agent is going to have access to that. But on top of that, especially, and I don't know how other realtors do things, but we have, so much marketing that goes into every single listing that we have, from different websites. It's obviously on all the major websites that you can think of, realtor.com, Zillow, all that good stuff. But on top of that, you have, video tours that we do. In some cases, we'll do like a drone video to get like some aerial shots, all that kind of stuff. The type of marketing that we do is just ridiculous. So that in itself is going to typically pocket you more money than if you were going to sell it yourself. Whatever you're trying to net in your pocket can typically be done in a better and more effective way with a real estate agent. Plus, they take care of all of the headaches, and everything for you, all the marketing and all that good stuff, so that you don't have to. That's that. And then the last question is, what are closing costs? So I just wanted to pick this one out from the list, just because it's something that I think there's a lot of confusion towards this. So closing costs and down payment are completely different things. Okay, you typically have a down payment with different programs. For example, FHA, you have 3.5%. Typically, it's required minimum. Conventional can go anywhere from 3 to 5% up to whatever. And with closing costs, that's something that is typically, you have closing costs on both sides. So if you're a seller, you have closing costs, because you're paying, title fees, you're paying, OEC coverage and all of this other terminology that we can go over. But on the buyer's end, you have closing costs to pay out for, lender fees, you have title fees as well. And that is always going to be separate. So you always want to make sure that you get that explained up front, when you're starting the process, so you know exactly what to expect, either in your pocket when you're a seller or expect out of pocket if you're a buyer. So I think that's it, guys. I know I carried on a little bit and went on a little bit of a rant, but it's important information that I think everybody should know. Again, if you have any more questions, feel free to keep posting under those same posts that I put up on all the social media platforms, and I can go ahead and answer them for next time. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you for paying attention. Make sure to hit the like button on our page and get some more good information from all the agents, and look out for the next segment from Weekly Ave News. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.